welcome back. Charles Krauthammer destroys ANTIFA thugs. Well, that's surprising, considering he's usually on the side of tyranny. The man hates Trump. But anyways, it is very disturbing that in America someone cannot speak because there are thugs who threaten violence. Well, for once I agree with him. Let's take a look.
If you can't have the government guaranteeing the safety of speakers, then we have lost one of the fundamental uniting elements of our society. If there's anything that unites us, it's believe in the First Amendment, believe in free speech. Whenever you talk about America, what makes us unique, we believe in liberty. It begins with religious liberty, and it also begins with free speech. And if you can't get agreement on defending that, I mean, the obligation of any authority right now is to say Ann Coulter can speak, and we will protect her. That's why you pay your taxes. That's why we have a police. And we are not going to allow a gang of thugs, really fascist gangs. This is how it started in Europe in the 20s and the 30s. Fascist gangs would literally intimidate their opponents to the point where they became dominant. I don't think they're going to take over. This is not Mussolini. But nonetheless, it is very disturbing that in America, somebody cannot speak because there are thugs who threaten violence.
I agree.
Well, it's war. Plain and simple. The globalists versus the patriots. It's really that simple. Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. And so it is. Breaking. Southwest Airlines just made a major policy change. Southwest CEO Gary Kelly says the practice of overbooking flights is over. CNN reports CEO Gary Kelly announced Thursday that the Southwest will no longer overbook its flights, ending a practice that sometimes leaves paying passengers without a seat. The last thing that we want to do is deny a customer their flight, Kelly said on CNBC earlier this month. A United passenger was dragged up the aisle and off a plane by authorities in Chicago when he refused to give up his seat. United needed seats for a crew on its way to work another flight. The airline's botched response turned the episode into a PR nightmare. Weeks later, United is still working to clean up the mess. The airline said Thursday it will offer up to $10,000 to passengers who voluntarily give up their seat if too many people show up for a flight. Delta has instituted a similar policy. 10 grand? I'll take 10 grand to wait in an airport for like another day. I think that's doable. Southwest is taking it one step further and ending overbooking outright. The carrier joins JetBlue, which has long advertised that it doesn't overbook flights. It's standard practice for airlines to sell more tickets than there are seats in anticipation of non-show flyers. Well, I suppose by not overbooking the plane, probably save a lot of money in the long run and a lot of heartache. I suppose that's why they're doing it. Flying in planes is a pain in the butt, though. I can't stand flying. I go great distances, but I'd prefer to drive. Breaking. Major Hillary prosecution was just sent to the Department of Justice. I want nothing more than to see that woman prosecuted. I am a fan of what Trump has accomplished so far and what he's doing. However, I would like to see this woman locked up. She deserves worse. Congress has just referred Hillary Clinton's private server company to the Department of Justice for prosecution. From Zero Hedge. Last September, we were among the first to note that Hillary's oh shit guy, aka Paul Gambetta, who is responsible for wiping her private server clean with BleachBit, despite acknowledging he was aware of congressional subpoena demanding the preservation of all records, was looking like he would be the fall guy to take the blame for Hillary's various federal crimes. For those of you who do not recall all of the specifics of Platte River's involvement in Hillary email scandal, here are a couple of refresher posts. The oh shit moment, Hillary wiped her server with BleachBit despite subpoena. The oh shit guy that wiped Hillary's server with BleachBit was just granted immunity. Dear FBI, this is intent. Hillary's oh shit guy sought Reddit advice on how to strip VIP emails. Well, as it turns out, Gambetta was one of the Clinton aides offered an immunity deal by Comey, which the FBI was handing out like candy. That said, Plate River Network CEO Trev Suazo was not offered such a deal, and after obstructing an investigation led by Representative Lamar Smith of the House Science, Space and Technology Committee for the better part of a year, he has just been referred to the Department of Justice for prosecution for the Washington Free Beacon. So he is the fall guy they've chosen. Lamar Smith, chairman of the House Science, Space and Technology Committee, has asked the Department of Justice to prosecute Plate River Network CEO Trev Suazo of obstructing a congressional investigation into his company's role in providing security for Clinton's home-brewed email server, which became the subject of widespread debate following revelations that it had multiple security vulnerabilities. Senior congressional aides apprised of the situation said their investigation shows there is mounting evidence that were pretty serious cybersecurity concerns with Clinton's server. Multiple subpoenas and letters from the Congressional Investigation Team went unanswered by Plate River, prompting Smith to refer the case to DOJ for criminal prosecution. Congressional investigators allege that the company is guilty of failing to produce key documents, making false statements to Congress, and of obstructing the investigation into Clinton's server. At least 2 subpoenas issued by the committee were not answered by Plate River. As one committee 8 noted, this is typical. There were absolutely zero negotiations. There was no willingness on their part to discuss whether any information they would provide would satisfy the committee's request. It was just the company, with counsel refusing to discuss the matter. Well, James Comey openly said she's guilty as hell, but we're not going to prosecute. She deserves to go to prison to set a benchmark in American society that the West really is back, that this is not a fluke, this is not a game, this is real. Welcome.